Mariajo Arias and Mariajo from Quinótico in Spain. The first thing I would like to ask you, what did you make decide to direct Mufasa? Because a priori this movie is different from other previous projects like Moonlight or the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, it's different, but only in its genre for sure, and its technical aspects. But so much of what the characters are going through, so much of the themes that the film is exploring, I found to be very similar. And I've always been curious as a filmmaker about exploring with new tools, and this felt like a really great canvas to do that.
Mufasa built an aesthetic portrait for a classic villain of Disney. What was your approach for this villain origin story?
My approach was just to lean into all the character dynamics that I found in the script. When I first read the screenplay by Jeff Nathanson, I was really, as just a fan of the movie and the world of the Lion King, I was really surprised at how deep and complex, some of the histories of these characters were, of how they began their lives. And it was really cool having this puzzle piece of knowing where so much of this ends up, not from a what happened standpoint, but of who these characters become. I thought it was a really fun experiment to go back and really see, Mufasa and Scar is a great example. Wow, these kids loved each other. That bond was really deep. It's really fun to get to explore, okay, why did this fracture? How did it fracture?
I think when you were in Madrid several weeks ago, you say something about that in this movie there isn't political. Am I right?
Someone made the comment that it's a very political movie, and I said, well, I don't know if it's a very political movie, but I think that people bring their lives, into the world of all these stories that we tell, and I think there are some things that are reflective of how people function within societies, how people function within hierarchies, that say quite a bit about the world we're living in.
How much pressure have you feel directing a movie from Disney? Because Disney is a big thing.
Yeah, Disney's a big thing, but I'm making one film, and it involves, these characters, and my job as a storyteller is to have a very, very, very focused vision and to just be concerned with, what is the quality, of the story that I'm telling? What is the quality of the performances? What is the quality of the visual imagery, and to not feel that there's the pressure or the weight, of an entire studio or an entire legacy, on this one project's shoulders.
I think in this movie there is interesting parallel between the child that arrived here in Spain or Italy, maybe through the sea, and how Mufasa arrived back as life. And this is a beautiful message for the child and the adult viewer. What do you think about this topic?
When I first read the script, because for 30 years, we've assumed that Mufasa isn't a child, who arrives on the shores, as you said, in that way, that he's someone who's born in the palace, and he's great because he's born in the palace, and great people are born in the palace, and being born in the palace is the only way you can make a great leader. I love that Jeff took that and deconstructed it in this film. I mean, you're making an association that just didn't really occur to me. I think it's a very beautiful association to make because Mufasa literally gets washed away from everything that he knows, and he does land in this place. And the beauty of that is, imagine if he had not. Imagine, you're in Spain. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring this to Spain. Imagine if he had not. If that kid, Yamil, if he was not a Spanish footballer, I don't think you guys would have the Euro Cup right now. And the guy Nico, who plays beside him, if he was not a Spanish footballer, I don't think you guys would have the Euro Cup right now, And I think if Mufasa hadn't somehow, it's unfortunate that he suffered this fate, he gets taken from his family, but because he is there, he finds a way to unite all these tribes so that they can come together and not be fearful of this tyrant who wants to destroy the circle of life. So it's a great association you made. You made it, I didn't. But I do think it's wonderful that you guys have the Euro Cup, and it is because of,
Thank you.
It took a team, but I think without those two kids, it wouldn't have been possible. By the way, I think I was here when I think they beat England for that Euro Cup. Sorry, guys.
It's a funny place to be. For finish, you have several awards and nominations in your career. Does this kind of recognition add pressure when you have to choose the next project or not?
It doesn't add pressure. It doesn't add pressure for me personally. I think maybe it's a way I protect myself. But I'm very good about, this is the thing in front of me. I'm creating it. You know, I'm doing it for this reason internally, and that's it. And then you go through and you try to do your best work, because I think winning an Oscar doesn't make any better or any worse the thing that I made. I think Moonlight would be the same film, you know, if they said La La Land and it actually was La La Land. It wouldn't be any different. I think also, too, there are many films that I know my peers have made that are just as worthy of those distinctions that didn't receive it. It was purely luck and circumstance that that fortune favored me. And so I try to just disassociate myself from all those different things and try to do the best job I can with the work in front of me.
What's a pity the time is over. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.